Today we're going to talk about the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Clippers series. Let's get right to it. This series, I think the Suns came in as a heavy favorite. Uh, no Kawhi Leonard for the Clippers. Got injured in the last series. The Clippers did close out the Utah series pretty strong, but still, the Suns are the prohibited favorite. So let's start with game one, yeah.
So Phoenix took game one, 121-14 behind Devin Booker's first playoff triple double. Um, 40 points, 11 assists, and 13 rebounds. I'm not for sure, but I believe it was one of his first triple doubles. I'm not for sure.
Well, it's his first playoff triple double.
Well,
For
definitely
sure.
that. But without CP3 being in the lineup, D Book completely took over that game, and he wouldn't let the Clippers back in at all. PG gave him 34. Reggie Jackson gave him 24. But all in all, it's like once D Book get hot, it, it's basically over with. You might as well just leave the game alone. Like when normally most superstars get hot, it's hard to contain them or stop them in any way. So Booker pulled that one out for them. For his family. What more can you do with that? It was ridiculous how he was scoring. So there's nothing more you can do. You just gotta tip your hat to a guy like that at the end of the day. So shout out to Book for that. But they came back the next game and pulled it out. 104-103. They should have lost this game, to be honest, but
Pandemic P. Pandemic P. You gotta finish your free throws, big dog. You gotta finish your free throws.
yeah, you the best player on the team right now as we speak. No Kawhi, no nothing. He was shooting 87% from the free throw line in the season, 85 on the playoffs.
Yeah.
Them is two big free throws right there to seal the game, close that out. You wouldn't even have to be talking about what the ref did, if he made a bad call,
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
all that. Even if you just hit one,
Yeah.
just hit one. That's forcing Phoenix to either take a tough three
Mm-hmm.
to tie it and go into
Yeah.
overtime, or you just end the game off that. You know what I'm saying? So just give me one, just one. That's it. That's all. But
Take one on the road, man.
shout out to Cameron Payne. 29 points and 9 assists that game. He came out ready to play off the jump. They couldn't do nothing with him, like, at all. So, big ups to him. Aiden, 24 points, 14 rebounds. It was a mediocre game for D-Book. He had 20 points, but he shot the ball bad. But at the end of the day, PG, I don't want to put it all on you, but them two free throws was crucial. But also, the last possession of the game, you have two big men in the game. How could you not stop that lob? You got Boogie on the inbound, Zubac guarding Aiden on the roll. That lob shouldn't have even been able to get there. You got two 7-footers in the game. It shouldn't have been able. Great pass by Crowder, by the way. Didn't expect that, but that shouldn't happen. But they wouldn't be in a situation if PG hit the free throws. But
If he just hit one, they gotta go for three to tie it at least. I mean, even if they had if he hits one free throw and they do the little lob thing and Aiden hits or whatever, you still got to lead by one. So at that point, you playing the free throw game again. So it's just like the game wouldn't end it right there. So who knows? But moving on to game three.
Game 3, they just flat out beat LA. This is the return of CP3, but it didn't do anything. I mean, you come off 10 days worth of quarantine. I mean, we all know how it feel to hoop and not hoop after that. You know what I'm saying? No matter if it's 10 days, 20 days, just being a hooper, like, how hard it is to just come back like that. So they shot the ball horrible. Him and Book. Book shot the ball 5 for 21. CP3 shot the ball 5 for 19. And that was basically just the story of the game. PG shot 9 for 27, but if your team's not going, your team's two best players, CP3 and Devin Booker, it's like, it's you're not gonna get nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So the Clippers took that one at home. They did what they needed to do.
And I think we gotta give some flowers to Reggie Jackson. He's been like that guy that they can lean on outside of Paul George. Marcus Morris has been kind of flat throughout the first few games. I mean, he showed up eventually, but I mean that's down the line. But Reggie Jackson has been that second guy that they can depend on to either help with playmaking or pick up the scoring load. So gotta shout him out for that.
Very consistent. His jump shot must have greatly improved because he been pulling from deep like it's nothing. Like I didn't even know Reggie Jackson could shoot this good, to be honest. So, but he gave him 23 points game 3. Consistency. That's what you look for in the playoffs from any player is consistency. That can help you win. Game 4. Once again,
Pandemic P.
84-80 Phoenix, and I don't know what else to say. I really don't know what else to say. Like once again with the free throws.
Now, I give him a little bit of a pass on this one because even if he had hit his free throws, it wouldn't have gave them. I don't think it would have gave them the lead. It would have put them in better position to either tie the game or get a little bit closer. But compared to game 2, it wasn't as dire. Like
No,
if you hit them, it would have helped. I mean, not sure if they still would have won, if they still would have lost or not. But I mean, yeah, PG. Like it's like. I think back to the Indiana days where you were like, oh, I'm trying to think who it was. But basically, somebody else took the last shot. He was like, nah, I'm the star player. I take the last shot, and this and that. If you want that pressure on you, you can't crumble in these moments. You know what I mean? I think Thaddeus Young might have took like the last shot in the game.
Oh wow.
And he was like, nah. He was like, I'm gonna talk to him about it. I had to be the one taking the last
He the
shot.
guy. Okay.
Yeah. Well, hey, no Kawhi. It's on you at this point. You got a hoop, man.
It definitely is. You know what I'm saying? And what was up with Boogie in the end? Like, did he not know that the ball has to hit the rim?
No,
Or what?
I don't think he's that much of a finesse player. That's a big dude.
But
and you that might have been asking too much of him from his skill set, man.
My thing is he ain't even he went straight for the backboard. Like he just threw it straight at the backboard.
I don't know what he was thinking with that process. I don't know.
Like we all know, like the ball has to hit the rim, to.
Maybe he was trying to aim at the front of the rim and it wanted to just go to the back.
Like goodness gracious, the free throw struggles in the end was just ridiculous. But I mean, that's a game you lose on your home floor. You know what I'm saying? It was a horrible game because it was they had 70 points for like 5-6 minutes. Nobody could score.
Yeah, it was a stretch where neither one of the teams could score. And I think was it Chris Paul who finally broke with like a mid-range jump shot?
Broke with a little mid-range jump shot, but nobody could score. So it's like. You get down to the end, you need them free throws, And in the end, and all in all, Phoenix won an ugly game. Like it was a very gritty, like grinded out game. It was one of the lowest scoring games of the playoffs. So next game though, I didn't see this coming. I don't know about you, but I didn't see this coming.
Do we have to put a little bit more respect on his name now?
No.
Does he graduate from Pandemic P to just P? I'm not putting the playoff on it until he wins like another series. Like don't get me wrong, the Utah series was very impressive. I mean obviously not to cop please, Mitchell wasn't himself, and I mean like I don't know. But if they somehow some way pull off this series, I mean, even if they don't win the finals, but they wind up beating the Suns, might have to give them a little playoff moniker,
41-6-13. I mean, I didn't expect it to happen. He scored 20 in the third, 30 in the second half. All his points came in the second half, really. So I wasn't expecting him to come out like that. Um, but I'm still not. It's not consistent enough. You know what I'm saying? It's not consistent enough. Maybe
you and this consistency. So
I'm just saying,
he
man.
scores 20 in a quarter. Chris Middleton scores 20 points in a quarter, and it's like nah, but they inconsistent.
You,
So let me
you,
ask you this: is Paul George a real All Star?
yes,
Okay.
yes, he is. Yes, he is. Compared to Middleton, definitely, yes. He's
I'm not asking. I'm just saying in
yes,
general because
yes.
I'm trying to.
He's all star.
I'm just
No,
trying to get an idea that's basis of your All Star, real All
no,
Star.
he's an all star. He's an all star.
Okay, is he a superstar?
No,
Okay,
definitely not.
okay.
He's a number two. And
Really?
depending on the team he go on, he could probably be a number three.
I'm not gonna take it that far. I think he's a one. He's a number one option on a good team, but as far as championship winning team, I say he's option two, second option. I'm not gonna put him on three. Like nah.
And the reason why I say consistency is like people want to, like, I understand, yes, they're in the NBA, yes, you know what I'm saying, but like people giving flowers to people who like it's not showing up consistently, and I'm like, everybody always want to bring up consistency but don't stick to it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got people like LeBron, KD, you know, the Kyries, you know, all them type of players who consistently night in and night out give you the same
You don't want to. You
thing.
don't want to say yeah. Never mind. Continue. Continue.
You're sad. We
Continue.
know
Just
that.
just continue, please. I'm sorry for
But
interrupting.
yeah, but like with Trey Young, this whole playoff series, he had shot the ball bad, and we like, oh, he's one of the. We should have picked Luka. I mean, we should have picked Trey over Luka. He's on Luka Doncic level now, and blah blah blah. He got his
Now,
Hawks to the conference
now,
finals.
now I will say this: when we had this debate on here before, and I said it, as far as like with him and Luka at the time, I was like, I just don't feel that Luka is so much more better than him. I just feel like the team that he had around him was a lot better, and we won't be able to see Trey's full potential until he got a better team. Now, does he have a better team now? I think he does, but I feel like they're kind of championing him prematurely because, like when you're referring to like the inconsistency or even just efficiency, I think is a better word. Shooting 5 for 26, and yeah, you might hit a big three at a big moment, but the rest of the game you're basically shooting like really really poor. So yeah, you made a big shot, but 5 for 26, I mean that's kind of hurting your team.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, PG just if I'm not saying, you know, every game, you know, you got to come out and shoot 50%,
Hmm.
60%, you know what I'm saying? But it's like you go for a stretch where it's like, okay, he going to give you 30 easy a night, and then you go through a stretch where it's like 0 for 6, 0 for 8,
Yeah.
6 for this. And like, it's like, okay, you know, when is the balance going to come in? I mean, we all know we all have horrible games, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, where is it, you know, gonna come in with just a little bit of consistency, you know what I'm saying? But the whole team actually played good in Game 5. Morris came out and gave him 22.
And I think they said a stat line for him was that he scored more points in the first half of that game than he did the entire series. So shout out to him for
That
that.
wouldn't surprise me. Reggie back with another 23, and Boogie 15. 15, you know what I'm saying? Despite D Book's 31 and
Now,
CP3's.
the only thing I have an issue with Boogie, you got 15 points, but I think you only had like 2 rebounds, fam.
Yeah,
You like 7 feet.
he had 3 rebounds.
Oh, three. I'm
I
sorry.
ain't
Hey,
going. He had 3
you
rebounds.
gotta give him at least 7 or 8, fam. Like you too big. I know you
He
had
was
the injuries in the past, but you a big dude. If you box somebody out, fam, you ain't even got to jump that high. That should be a board.
He was energetic on offense,
Yeah.
but I don't. When it came to that board, it's like, okay.
And got to shout out Reggie Jackson again. He had a stretch in the fourth. For like I think for like 2 minutes he scored like 8. I want to say 8 points. It was like 2 threes and then like a dunk. and like after that dunk, it was just it kind of felt like the Suns were like, yeah.
He got 2 dunks that game because he got one in the beginning. In
Oh,
the
okay.
beginning, he took off on Crowder and somebody else,
Okay.
and then in the end, he
Yeah.
got him. He
But
snuck
that
him
last
in
one
there.
where he got it and Chris Paul was kind of right there, and he kind of just ran out the way. I think that was kind of like the cap to the game right there. Like, all right, yeah,
You
we
kind of
just,
knew it was just pretty much done. What happened to Zubac?
I don't know.
What is going on there? Like,
I think Tyronn Lue at this point is playing chess as far as matchups. He understands, what his players are capable of, you know, where he has an advantage, where he has a disadvantage. So stuff like that. So
yeah, that is very, very true. Besides PG going off for 41, but it's like Aiton's been killing them. Like easy buckets, and he's just doing what he's wanting. It's not like he's playing outside his game too. Like
yeah,
those were all like mostly easy buckets. And I know at one time they was talking about Zubac a lot. You know, he was a solid big, but it's like
I think he is a solid big, but it's just like w- the expectations of him on a team with Paul George and Kawhi. Like, I mean, it's kind of hard. I feel like a best big that would probably work for them is probably like more of a
a
stretch.
stretch.
Yeah, because it's like if you're down in the paint, you taking up driving lanes for both of them. I mean,
And they're
can't.
not really gonna hit you on the roll.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna.
mean, maybe PG every blue moon, but they more or less coming off the screen looking for
Yeah.
the mid range to score. Blah blah blah.
Exactly. And I don't think that like they're just gonna sit at the 3 line all day. So if they were just like straight up like pure shooters like a Steph Curry or something, like alright, cool. May work, but nah, you kinda crowding the lane down there, so
So who wins the series
I don't know, man.
based off these games?
I mean, it's still looking ugly for the Clippers. They down 3-1. I mean they 3-2 now.
3-2.
Down 3-2 and they're going back to Phoenix, right? Or are they going
No,
back? No.
they
Oh,
going
going
to
back to LA.
On to LA. This is
Uh,
Phoenix' chance to end it in Phoenix.
It's tough, man. I feel like Phoenix still does have the upper hand. The only ace in the hole where I would put my money on the Clippers is if they say Kawhi's playing Game 6. If Kawhi comes back Game 6, I think we got a series. But that also depends on what percent of health he's at. Now, if it's like Kawhi Leonard out there like James Harden was with the Nets, nah, Phoenix got it.
Yeah.
But if he's able to kind of function and move around a little bit more than James Harden was, I think the Clippers have a chance.
So
So
do you bring him back Game 6, or do you see if PG can pull it out, or what?
I mean, if I'm them, like I try to get them to play. You really put honestly, the owner, what is it, Steve Ballmer? He put all his chips in the middle of the table, man. You blew up the Clippers team. They had a young. I'm not gonna say that they were a championship contending team or nothing like that, but you had a nice young team. You had SGA. You had Lou Williams. Well, Lou Williams isn't young, but you had potential there. Gallinari, and you blew that all up. You gave away all your draft picks. I don't think they have a draft pick until like 2025 or something crazy. It's like, it's wild. And now you're buying like a new stadium. Hey man, go for it. Like, and then in the off season, well no, not the off season. During last season, during the break when everything started with COVID, he was sending everybody like weight rooms, like weight sets and everything. So he done spent a lot of money, man. So hey,
Might as well.
if you not super hurt, Kawhi, man, I mean, you able to make it to the game and sit in the press box and everything else, man. See if you can get it to go.
This last off for me, this helps the Clippers. No matter if they win or lose, this helps the Clippers. And the reason why is because Kawhi is injured. So the things that we was talking earlier saying, the Clippers lose, it's like breaks it up. It's like, all right, we may be able to keep them here for a little bit of time just because Kawhi was hurt.
Yeah.
So
But the question is, if they lose, is Kawhi gonna want to come
that
back?
is very true. That is very true. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of shift changing this year, basically.
Yeah.
We will see.
It's gonna be a cold summer. But well, I thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Freshman Podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you check out our latest 2 episodes. We got one recapping the Bucks and Nets series, and we got one recapping the Hawks and the 76ers series. So yeah.
Give me 30 views in 24 hours this time instead of 25.
No, we appreciate the love, y'all. We're out.
Capella hurt.